Welcome to this new episode of the playlist How to Correctly Configure Ultimate SMC. In this episode, I'm going to talk about sweep, liquidity sweep, so buy and sell liquidity sweep. We have multiple configuration inside the sweep, so we're going to go through those configuration and give you some examples on the charts. So let's start first with the settings. So first we can select multiple options for liquidity sweep. Simply we can go without liquidity, so no sweep in our trading plan. We can opt for a range liquidity. As example, if we want to sweep ASEAN range low and high, London range low and high, and so on. So we specify the start time and end time. We can simply go for the previous hour high and low, the previous day high and low, the previous week high and low, and finally we can opt for the block liquidity, so previous block liquidity, which is based on the structure block indicator that you can see behind on the screen. So let's start giving some examples, but before going there, let me just finish the port E1 and E2 of the configuration, and we'll jump to examples on the screen. Simply when we're gonna select a range, we need to specify the end of the range and the start of the range, giving the hours, minutes for both time. And in case we are selecting a previous block liquidity, we can opt for which time frame we're gonna go and check this block. Is it, for example, if we're trading on 5 minutes, we need to sweep the 1 hour liquidity block, or maybe the 1 day liquidity block, and so on. So this time frame here in E2 will help us define on which time frame we need to do the sweep of liquidity. All right, let's talk about examples. I'm starting with a simple screen without the EA, just to take examples and tell you how things works. I'm gonna really talk a lot about the range because there's some particularity for that. So first we're gonna talk about the range, and later on we're gonna just go to the backtester and simulate multiple scenarios. What you need to know is, first thing, whenever a trade window starts, at this moment, the EA will gonna look backward. We're gonna put the range that it needs to sweep. It's gonna calculate the highs and the lows, and then it will start tracking basically the highs and the lows for liquidity sweep. So why I'm telling you this, because for example, here for Asian range, whenever I'm trading, let's say I'm trading at, I'm starting at 7 o'clock. So at 7 o'clock, I'm gonna look back. So all what is in blue, it isn't yet here. So I'm look back. I know the Asian range, so the low, the high. I'm gonna track the sweep up. I'm sweeping the sell side liquidity, and I expect a move up. Another example here is, for example, I'm trading the New York opening, and I'm waiting for the daily range sweep of liquidity. So I have my previous day, I have my low, I have my high. However, I'm starting trading only here. And if you notice, the low have already been swept and is no more valid. In this case, whenever that trading window starts and it looks back, it's gonna see that this low is no more valid and it will not be tracked. Those information will also be available in the logs, and in this case, the EA will only track the buy side liquidity and see if we're gonna trade to the downside or not. Now let's talk a little bit about the start and end time of trading range and start and end time of liquidity range. Ideally, basically, we're gonna tell, well, I'm waiting from midnight till 8 to see the liquidity, and I'm trading after 8. So this is a scenario. However, you cannot have the trading range and the liquidity range overlapping. So for example, if you have this case, let's say you have your liquidity range that ends at 8, however, you're starting trading at 7. In this case, the EA will not look into this range for the 30th of May. What it's gonna do, it's gonna look for the range that is before, 1 day before, and check its high and low and it traded. So this you need to pay attention to. You cannot have overlap. The EA can always, we can always have a distance between the liquidity range and the trading range during a day. However, when they overlap, that trading range will just look to the day before and check if this is valid or not. All right, let's see some examples on the backtester. Here I'm taking simply a trade between 7 and 20, and I have range liquidity between 7 and 7. Let me start. So as soon as I have my trading window that is started, automatically the EA will look backward, will have the range buy liquidity and the range sell liquidity, and will track those for any trade. The next example I'm gonna give is the previous block liquidity, because I think for a previous hour, day, or week, it's quite standard. Let's see this one. So basically, I'm trading on the 5-minute, and I'm looking to the liquidity on the 1 hour. I'll keep the same settings as for the previous one. So I'm starting, and as soon as I have my window started, basically I have the high and the lows, and those highs and lows, if just gonna check. So we have the high on the low on 46.67. If I go to the H1 and I can check here the low, so this is the low and the high that I'm tracking. So basically that's the idea. At the moment where I have my trading setup started, I'm gonna check what is the previous H1 block high and low, and I'm gonna track those. One particularity for this high and low, as you know, the blocks are really done with a move with the trend and then a retracement. Before having a retracement, I don't have an ultimate high or an ultimate low that are defined, and therefore sometimes if you're trading in a on a time that you don't have those ultimate high and ultimate low that are defined, there's no high or low to track. So this is just that you know, and this is also mentioned in the docs. And basically that's how the liquidity sweep works. So hope it is clear in this video, and stay tuned for the next episode where we're gonna talk about the higher time frame structure filters and premium and discount areas. Thank you.